me and Kevin Hart had a little problem.
Yeah.
Is Kevin was a dude that had came right up under me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And he blew up, and he got famous, and he got rich, and they wasn't no longer talking about Mike Epps. But before Kevin came along, they was talking. I had this shit locked down.
Right.
I did. I was out on the road, but I didn't know that other part of the business, which was business.
Business.
You know, I got in show business, and all I was good at was the show part of it, because I didn't grow up under business. And all I could speak for was really my work, which in later on in life, that shit ended up helping me because I did good work. And I didn't get the big accolades, but I did good work. But Kevin Hart knew how to do that show and that business. So he was able to get in there, and then I had to end up learning from him.
Damn.
That's how that shit worked.
Yeah.
The old learn from the new learn from the old. And I didn't understand that. So I took it to heart. You know, I took that shit to heart. I was looking at him like, shit, this is a little dude that came up under me that opened up for me. That sometimes I put money in his pocket. And he don't remember, but a couple times I've seen him and he kind of brushed me the wrong way. And see, people do that shit sometimes, especially if you get some success. Sometimes if you get some success and you hot and a person see you and you don't respond to them or act a certain way with them, especially if they are OG to you, they'll take that shit to heart and all. This motherfucker think he better than me, you know? That's how that shit ended up happening. And I told him that when I seen him, I said, you know what? You actually end up putting fire under me. That's what it ended up actually doing. It put fire under me because at the time, man, I was settled in whatever the I was settled in. I needed some young to come along that was hot and the people was loving them and looking at me like, what you gonna do? You know? That shit hurt, but at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, you know what? I know what I gotta do. I gotta stick it to them. So I just went back to my regular roots, to who I really was and how I started comedy, you know? And that shit helped me, propelled me to keep going and stop looking at the new, stop looking at the old, and just focus on what you got, because there's only one Mike Epps. Ain't gonna be no other Mike Epps. It's only one Mike Epps. Go do Mike Epps, and you're gonna get whatever you get from that. And once I focused in on that, I was able to breathe and I'd be free and not look at the young coming up or the old.
That's Code Shannon to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.